There's a question men quietly ask themselves, but rarely out loud. Can I turn a woman on without touching her? The truth, yes, you can, because a woman's desire isn't only physical, it begins in her mind. It's the way her senses are awakened, the way her imagination is stirred, and the way she feels energy between you without a single hand being laid on her. When you know how to reach that place inside her, you unlock a part of her that makes her lean in closer, breathe a little deeper, and crave your presence before you've even brushed her skin. My name is Serena Rose, and welcome back to Relationship Truths. If you're new here, I want you to subscribe right now so you don't miss the insights that will change the way you understand intimacy and connection. And if this message speaks to you, give it a thumbs up. It helps this channel grow, and it helps me continue sharing with you every single week. Now let's begin. The first secret to awakening a woman without touch is scent. A woman's sense of smell is powerful. It connects directly to memory, emotion, and instinct. A clean, magnetic scent can draw her in closer than a hand on her waist ever could. Think about it. When you smell something wonderful, it lingers in your mind. It changes your mood. It makes you want to stay in that moment a little longer. For a woman, a man's scent is not just fragrance, it's presence. It's proof that he values himself enough to take care of his body and his environment. When you walk into a room carrying a subtle, warm cologne, or even just the clean freshness of soap, you speak a language without words. It tells her you are intentional, you care about the details, and that detail draws her closer. But here's the other side. Nothing turns a woman away faster than poor hygiene. No charm, no clever words, no handsome face can erase the effect of a careless smell. Desire begins in the senses, and smell is the first sense she notices. So invest in it. A fragrance doesn't just rest on your skin, it becomes part of your aura. And when she leans closer just to breathe you in, you'll know why it matters. The second secret is your voice. Many men underestimate this, but the truth is a woman responds not just to what you say, but how you say it. The tone, the softness, the pause between your words. A whisper near her ear, spoken with confidence and care, can set her entire body alive with sensation. It doesn't need to be complicated. It could be something as simple as, "You look incredible tonight." Spoken slowly, quietly, with the intimacy of someone who really sees her. That kind of whisper travels. It doesn't stop at her ear. It moves through her body, lighting up places you haven't even touched. But remember this, whispering only works when your breath is fresh. No woman wants to lean in and be met with last night's garlic or stale coffee. Keep mints close. Keep gum in your pocket. When your whisper is clean and close, it becomes electric. And here's the secret. Women don't just hear your words, they feel them. A deep, calm whisper becomes a vibration, and vibrations are what stir desire. The third secret is one most men overlook, timing your words when she least expects them. One of the most powerful times to speak to a woman is in the morning. Why? Because your voice is naturally deeper and more grounded when you first wake up. It carries a weight and warmth that women find irresistibly intimate. Imagine this. She receives a short voice note from you before the day begins. Something simple, something soft. Maybe it's just, "Good morning, beautiful. I hope today feels easy for you." That's it. No overthinking, no over-explaining, just that deep, unfiltered tone of a man at ease. She'll replay it in her head all day. She'll remember how it made her feel. And without ever touching her, you've already entered her mind and stayed there. So much of intimacy is not in what you do with your hands, but in how you reach her senses, her imagination, her memory. When a woman can't stop thinking about you, when she replays the way you smell, the way your voice sounded, the way your energy lingered long after you left, that's when you've turned her on without laying a finger on her. And that, my dear listener, is where the real power lies. If you've ever experienced this before, if you've ever had a woman tell you she was drawn in by your voice, your scent, or even your energy before anything physical happened, I want you to comment one below, because your story might show another man that he already has more power than he realizes. And now let's go even deeper, because these are just the first 3 secrets, and the next ones may surprise you. There's a certain magic in intimacy that doesn't come from the obvious gestures. Sometimes what awakens a woman most is the way a man surprises her with effort, thoughtfulness, and quiet confidence. The 4th secret to turning a woman on without touch is showing her your skill in the kitchen. Now, I want to pause here, because a lot of men instantly think, cooking? Really? Yes, really. Because for a woman, food is more than survival. It's comfort, memory, and love all served on a plate. When a man cooks, he isn't just preparing a meal. He's showing intention. He's proving that he can care for her in a way that feels both practical and sensual. Picture this. She watches you at the counter, sleeves rolled up, knife moving with precision, flavors blending together. You're focused, present, creative. To her, that's not just attractive, it's deeply erotic. It tells her, I can nourish you, I can provide for you, I can create something that makes you feel good. And trust me, that message doesn't stop at her stomach. It travels everywhere. Don't think you need to be a professional chef. It doesn't matter if you're making a complex dish or just a simple meal with care. What matters is that she sees your effort, your presence, your ability to bring something beautiful into her world. And when you sit down together and she takes that first bite, knowing it came from your hands, the connection deepens in a way no touch could ever force. The 5th secret is how you carry your body. A woman doesn't only notice how you look, she notices how you live in your own skin. When a man takes care of his body through movement, exercise, eating well, it radiates. It tells her, I value my health, my strength, my discipline. This isn't about having the perfect body or looking like a model. It's about presence. It's about walking into a room with the quiet confidence of someone who respects himself. And that confidence is one of the most irresistible things you can give a woman. A strong body isn't just about muscles. It's about energy. The way you stand, the way your shoulders roll back, the way you enter a space as though you belong there. That's what makes her pulse quicken. That's what makes her look at you twice. So don't underestimate this. Take care of yourself, not just for her, but for you. Because when you feel good in your body, she feels it too. Desire is contagious. The 6th secret lies in the simplest pleasures, chocolate and wine. It may sound cliche, but there's science behind it. Chocolate triggers the release of endorphins, the same feel-good hormones that flood her body during moments of pleasure. Wine in moderation relaxes the mind, loosens the heart, and allows her to feel more open, more present. Now imagine combining the two, sharing a piece of rich chocolate, pouring a glass of red wine, letting the moment stretch between you. It's not about the chocolate itself or the wine itself. It's about the ritual, the sweetness melting on her tongue, the warmth of the drink spreading through her body, and the way you're right there, the man who created that atmosphere, watching her eyes soften and her breath slow. When you learn to guide her into that space without ever laying a hand, you're already creating intimacy. You're saying, I know how to take you somewhere safe, somewhere warm, somewhere you can relax. And relaxation is where desire is born. The 7th secret is the art of suggestion. This is where many men fail. They think they need to be explicit, direct, overwhelming. But suggestion is far more powerful. A subtle message, a carefully chosen word, a text that lingers in her mind. When you send her a message that isn't aggressive but gently suggestive, something that makes her pause, reread, and smile, you've planted yourself in her imagination. And imagination is where attraction grows. It could be something simple like, "I can't stop thinking about how good you look today," or "I had a dream about you last night. I'll tell you about it later." Notice nothing over the top, nothing crude, just enough to leave her wondering. The key is to create anticipation, to give her space to think, to imagine, to feel that gentle spark of curiosity. Because when a woman's mind starts to wander towards you, her body will soon follow. So when you understand this, when you realize that scent, voice, effort, care, food, self-respect, and suggestion are all ways to awaken a woman without touch, you unlock a kind of intimacy that goes beyond the physical. Tell me in the comments, would you rather a man surprise you with a home-cooked meal or whisper something soft in your ear? Comment 0 if you'd melt for the meal and 2 if you'd melt for the whisper. I can't wait to see where you stand. Now stay with me, because in the final part, I'm going to tie all of this together and show you the deeper truth behind why these little things matter so much to a woman's desire. Attraction is not just chemistry, it's psychology, it's energy. And when you understand that, you stop chasing the surface level tricks and start embodying something far more powerful. A woman doesn't remember every touch, but she remembers how you make her feel. She remembers the spark that ignited before you ever reached for her hand. She remembers the way your presence lingered in her senses, even when you weren't in the room. That is the secret. And the truth is, turning a woman on without touching her is less about action and more about awareness. It's about noticing what awakens her mind and what stirs her emotions. When you smell incredible, she feels pulled in. When your voice drops low and soft, she feels a vibration through her whole body. When you cook, she feels cared for in a way that melts her defenses. When you walk tall, she sees a man who honors himself, and that makes her want to honor you. When you offer her wine or chocolate, she relaxes into a pleasure-filled state where her body naturally leans toward yours. And when you send her words that are subtle but suggestive, she carries you in her imagination all day. These things may seem small, but to a woman, they are everything. Because desire is not just about the body, it's about anticipation. It's about the spaces you create before you ever cross the line of touch. And here's the deeper truth. When you can turn her on without touching her, your touch, when it finally comes, means so much more. It's not rushed. It's not shallow. It's layered with everything you've built leading up to it. That's the difference between a moment she forgets and a moment she never lets go of. So remember this, your power as a man isn't only in your hands, it's in your awareness, your presence, your patience. A woman is moved as much by what you don't do as what you do. And that's what makes this so beautiful. Before we close, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these speaks to you the most? Is it the scent, the whisper, the meal, the wine, or the words? Drop your number in the comments. 1 for scent, 2 for voice, 3 for cooking, 4 for body confidence, 5 for chocolate and wine, and 6 for suggestive messages. Your answer will tell me which video I should go deeper into next. If you haven't subscribed yet, now is the time, because what we explore here at Relationship Truths isn't just about romance. It's about psychology, intimacy, and the small details that transform love into passion. Until next time, I'm Serena Rose, reminding you that true connection isn't always about the touch. Sometimes it's about the anticipation before the touch.